All right, guys, let's go over that Unit 1, Day 8 homework. So this is 3 SRAP Me caps that you did. All right, so this first one about the baby food, you can see then what your type of, that the explanatory variable was that type of food, either that new product or the competitors. The response you were going to measure from each subject was the amount of weight gain in ounces. But that parameter, what we're interested in overall, is the average amount of weight gain, okay? Because those would be numerical quantities, so we would collectively be interested in average. So here we go. Here's our SRAP Me capped. Start with the 30 healthy babies, okay? And then, so start with the subjects that you have. And then this next section, I combine 3 things together. The randomly assign them with a big bag, the asterisks, which is the shake, 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 shake your bag up so you randomize it. And then the T, treatments, state your treatments very well. So see, look, I've got all 3 of those right here. Randomly assign the babies to the type of baby food by putting them in the big bag, shake well, okay, and assign or pull out and assign 15 babies to here's our treatments, new type baby food, and 15 babies to the competitor's baby food. Okay, so that's the R, the asterisk, and the T. Then measure each. What's each individual baby information, that response you're measuring? Each baby's ounces of weight gain. Now, the last part is that compare the average or the proportion. Well, because these were quantities, numerical values, we're going to compare the average of the average weight gain of babies on the new baby food to that of the competitor's food weight gain to see, so the T at the end is to see if the babies on the new baby food have an average weight gain that is significantly higher. So there's that 2C, significantly more than the average weight gain on the competitor's baby food. Okay? And that was it. SRAP Me capped. Done. Okay, here's this one. And so we talked about this problem before. Oh no, we didn't. This is new. This is ointment. Okay, and so there's shingles. And so the shingles is a painful nerve ending, really it affects your nerve ending, and then it causes a skin rash also. Okay, so 18 patients have volunteered to participate in the initial trials of this ointment to see if the new ointment is better than the current ointment. Okay, so here we go. So our explanatory variables are those 2 types of ointments, the new ointment and the current ointment. So here you can see this is one where we have a control group. The control group is not nothing. The control group is the current ointment, because that's just mean to not give them anything, especially when we know there is something that does help. Okay? All right. Now, so I put state the response. Oh, this is an interesting one. I said state the response being measured. In the prompt, I gave you options of how you could measure that. I said, how do you could decide the response you want to measure. Pick one. Do you want to measure the pain? And do you want to say the proportion of patients that say they've had pain improvement? Or do you want to say on a scale of 1 to 10, how much their pain improved? Okay. Do you want to measure the rash and say, yes, no, the rash improved, which it would probably naturally improve just over time. So, more than likely, we're going to have some kind of scale of how much that rash has improved. Okay. Those kinds of things. So I gave you an option. So here I wrote several things. I said, you could have several different responses and measure, and because I gave you a choice in the prompt. Possible responses could be the amount of pain improvement on a scale of 1 to 10, or the amount of rash improvement on a scale of 1 to 10. I don't think you'd really say, has there been improvement, yes or no? Because everybody should be improving. We're just talking about the rate at which they're improving and seeing if the medicine is changing that rate. So probably not a proportional situation. Probably you'll have numbers and then get the parameter of the average amount of pain improvement or that average amount of rash improvement. All right, so here's our SRAP Me capped. Here we go. So start with the 18 patients suffering from shingles. Okay, here's my randomly assign, my asterisks, and stating my treatments. Randomly assign the patients to a type of ointment by putting them in a big bag, shake well, and pulling out 9 for the new ointment and 9 patients for the current ointment on the market. That was randomly assigned, state big bag, randomization, shake well, and then treatment, state your treatments very well. Measure each patient's pain improvement. So I made a decision, pain improvement on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest amount of improvement. Okay. And now here comes our compare the, here's our 2C. Okay. So compare the average pain improvement of the patients on the new ointment to that of the patients on the current ointment. 2C if this average improvement of the patients on the new ointment is significantly more than that of the patients on the current ointment. That's your SRAP Me capped. Done. Oh, more interesting questions. Blinding. And I think this will be in the discussion. Will blinding be beneficial in this experiment? If so, what kind of blinding? Okay. So one thing that you want to make sure that you do in a question such as this for AP is you're making it clear to the reader that you know the definition of this case called blinding. And in particular, since they're asking about what kind of blinding, implying single blind or double blind, okay? So you're indicating that you know the definition of those. You want to state it in context, and of course, saying if it is beneficial and why. Okay, so I said, yes, I think you could use double blinding so that the patient nor the doctor caring for the patient knows which ointment the patient received. Okay, that was just me explaining the definition in context right there. Neither the patient nor the doctor caring for the patient knows which ointment the patient has received. Okay. And here's what I put why that's important. Because the pain relief is subjective. Okay? Subjective. We do not want the patient to have a psychological bias. You know, he thinks just by nature of getting that ointment, it's going to make it feel so much better towards that new ointment. Additionally, we would not want the doctor to give any subconscious clues as to if the treatment was given. Okay. Now, also, if, say, rash improvement had been what you were measuring, then we definitely wouldn't want the doctor who is rating that rash improvement to know which type of ointment the patient was using. Okay. So that way the doctor, he or she does not have a bias towards a particular ointment. All right, how can you carry this out? Easy peasy. Just make sure that the new ointment and the current ointment have same look, feel, packaging. Okay, and then you hopefully would put this into your discussion. All right, last one. Here we go. Oh, this is interesting. This is the 20-acre plots of land, and wheat's going to be planted on them. And at the end of the growing season, the number of bushels harvested will be measured. Okay, so they are testing that new fertilizer. So that's what it states: new fertilizer and current fertilizer. Response being measured is the number of bushels harvested per acre. Okay, I guess the subject is the land. And then the number of bushels is the response. Okay. All right. So since we would be getting a number of bushels per acre, those would be averaged together. So we're going to end up getting an average amount of bushels harvested per acre for the new and current. All right, so let's wrap me cap this thing. Here we go. Start with the 20 acres of land divided into 1 acre plots. All right, so randomly assign the plot. Here's my three. I got to have three things here, okay? Randomly assign the plots of land to be planted with wheat and fertilized by numbering each plot of land. So I guess for some reason it is okay for me to put the babies all in a big bag, but it just blows my mind to put plots of land because there's all this dirt that I can't contain and put it in there, okay? So it's so fun. It happens every year. Okay, so we number the plots of land and then we put the numbers in a bag. Shake well and pull out 10 acres to be planted with wheat and fertilized with the new fertilizer, and the other 10 acres to be planted with the wheat and fertilized with the current fertilizer. Random assignment, put in the big bag, shake well. Treatment, state your treatments. Very well. Okay. Measure each acre's wheat bushel production. Then I'll take all the new fertilizer bushels, average that. Compare the average amount of the wheat bushel production for the 10 plots of land treated with the new fertilizer to that of the 10 plots of land treated with the current to see if there is significantly more wheat bushel production on average for the land treated with the new fertilizer than that treated with the current fertilizer. All right, there is your 3 Scrap Me caps. Scrat Me caps with the T at the end, 2C. And so I hope that you're getting the hang of that so that you include all the things that you need to for your experimental design of completely randomized design.